Hello, hello. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, please give a like, comment, subscribe. These things that people always ask. Oh, the failure of Fire Festival. The last video of internet story that I watched was the 51 area video, and I think this Fire Festival was mentioned, and I did not know what it was about. So when I was looking for another video for him to react, I stumbled upon this one. So let's go. The link to the original is on the description if you can go and give the original creator his likes, and maybe open a new tab and let the video play muted so the original creator can have his view. Would be very nice. Okay, let's go. The failure of the Fyre Festival. I have no idea what this is about. Just that it was mentioned in the Area 51 video. Let me just adjust here my phone. This position is very bad, but it's okay. It's a fast video compared to the other ones that I have watched.
You're probably wondering how I got this tan.
Wilson.
Well, let me tell you the story. It begins with a man by the name of Billy McFarland.
Billy McFarland.
Billy was a good boy. At 22, he had dreams of becoming a super wealthy entrepreneur, dropping out of college to start a business called Magnesis. Over the years, he managed to network with some powerful people.
I don't know about this name. Why Magnesis?
One of them was Ja Rule. Translated from German, I believe it means, yes, rule. Over drinks, he pitched an idea. Here's an accurate recreation of that event. Mr. Rule, he said, I have a brilliant idea.
Like, word, like, yo, what happened? I'm like, yo, this thing too wild, fucking fish.
Precisely, what the fuck? Great minds think alike. It will be 2 weeks of absolute luxury in the Bahamas.
Oh.
What the? Promotion began in late 2016. Fyre promised beaches, ladies,
the failure of Fyre Festival.
Luxury man. Hosted on a private island in the Bahamas called Fyre.
It's gonna be a shit show.
Owned by Pablo Escobar. VIP tickets up to $250,000. Swimming pigs. Blink 182. Major laser. A steel drum. Welcome to Fyre Festival. The best 2 damn weeks of your life. I bought my ticket immediately. The day arrives. About 5,000 people are making their way directly from Miami Airport.
5,000?
And there are huge delays to get
to a small island. But do the island have any kind of people that live there that take care of the place, so it make it easy to make the festival? It doesn't have nobody.
To Fyre K. Although I shouldn't say Fyre K, because it doesn't exist. In the marketing, they referenced this island, which is actually Norman's Cay, run by George Young, not Pablo, by the way. But that doesn't matter because we're not going there either. We're going to Great Exuma. Private island? Forget that. Population? 7,000. In fact, we're basically in the parking lot of a sandals resort. In the end, only about 500
but it's very small.
The island. The remaining customers' flights?
Kinda like the city from the 51 area that they try to do the festival. So it's gonna be kinda difficult to have a whole structure to get 5,000 people to have a good time, I guess.
Are cancelled. You're about to see why. We're hauled onto a school bus and taken to the site, a gravel lot with a bunch of FEMA tents.
Oh no!
Remember those promises of luxurious villas? Pranked you.
Oh no!
Enjoy your stay, and don't forget your complimentary cup of UNICEF rice.
Turn this bus right around!
Once there, no one knows whose tent belongs to whom, so staff try getting everyone into a line. Then they abandon that idea and tell everyone it's a free-for-all. Expecting a party, this guy took all of his drugs on the flight over. He's the only one having any fun. Everyone else is grumpy because it's been 5 hours
There is nothing.
and there's no food.
Oh
In
my
lieu of
god.
food, staff decide to start handing out tons of free tequila.
Bro,
This only exacerbates problems. Once the food does arrive, it's just as delectable as promised though.
oh my
Gourmet
god.
craft single there. A few hours later, bags arrive on a shipping
And because he had, I guess, because he had contact with some famous rapper and some famous people, maybe it was easier to sell the tickets to this festival. But oh my god.
container. It was getting dark and there was no lighting.
So everybody's walking around with their cell phones trying to look for their luggage.
Plenty of people had their luggage stolen. But don't worry, if you have any valuables,
my
the
God.
festival advertised top-notch security. Here it is. But no one told guests they had to provide their own lock. There are rumors of muggings by the locals.
I heard rumors of feral dogs.
A tent
Feral
supposedly caught
dogs.
fire. The closest beach has a rampant shark problem.
Bro,
Staff don't have
What
any
the hell?
uniforms or walkie-talkies, so no one knows who's in charge, and the people who are in charge can't talk to each other. Here's the bathroom.
bro.
Many staff quit after
My
only a couple of
God.
hours. For the few customers who
It's
were willing to just
a
make the most of
shit
it and
fest.
enjoy the music, they had some bad news too. All of the major musical acts pulled out. In fact, Major Lazer wasn't even confirmed to go in the first place. The event was promoted as cashless, so all people had were these useless Disney bucks on their Fyre band, which meant they couldn't buy anything or catch a cab
Bro.
if they were stranded. And even with only 500 people, there are too few tents
What the
and
hell?
beds, so everyone is just stealing each other's. And for any of you thinking you could just escape to the sandals, bad luck. It's peak season and they are absolutely full. People are reaching out to the embassy for help. After a few hours, most people chose to go back to the
Yeah,
airport,
better
and the
to
rest were forced back home
go away.
when the Bahamian government stepped in. The festival was closed. But the exodus from the island made its own problem.
Yeah, too much
Guests
people.
spent hours dehydrated and hung
In a
over
small
in
place.
a hot building. Why staff locked the door isn't entirely
With
known,
no food, no.
but one girl fainted
Oh
before
my
they
God.
were finally reopened. Everyone gets home, and that was the end of it. Except for
There
me.
is more?
I was rescuing someone, helping them out, and I got lost in the woods.
Bro,
Anyway, back at home, the shitstorm on social media was just ramping up. The Reddit Fyre Festival was created, and it started documenting everything that went wrong at the event. People were circulating a fake tweet by Jar that the whole thing was a
Jar-
social experiment.
social
Some wholesome
spirit.
festival memes
What the
there.
hell?
And it quickly turned into a marketing case study of what not to do.
Bro.
In response, Fyre started serving cease and desist letters to stop people from saying mean things about them.
People just gonna talk about it more now.
Mr. Rule released an official statement online, both apologizing and saying that it's not his fault. Interestingly, he wasn't even on the island at the time. He was
Of
giving a
course he
concert in
wasn't.
Chicago. Although, to their credit, they offer everyone a full refund.
Yeah, at the last it is that,
Or-
I guess.
You could always let it ride and opt in for tickets to 2018's Fyre Festival.
What the fuck?
And a VIP
Who's
ticket
gonna-
to
I don't believe there is people that's gonna trust and trust in the same guy that made this and try again. What the hell?
next year's firefighter. If they decide to go. Exactly.
Meanwhile, Billy is on full damage control. He claims that a storm came in the night before and changed all of the marketing into lies.
We got to a point that we were very excited about on Wednesday night with how the two sites looked, and we got hit by a big storm.
That's
But the apologies weren't enough.
A
A few
bad
days
lie.
later, and the first lawsuit was served.
Attorney Ben Misalis doesn't think it's funny. He's filed a $100 million class action lawsuit against the organizers.
Then another suit. Then 7 more. Then the feds got involved, claiming Billy had
FBI?
committed
What the
wire fraud,
fuck?
serious charges with serious prison time. More on that later.
But first,
Right now, let's go into the history of Fyre Festival. The marketing was clever. To get the word out, they got in touch with about 400 influencers, Instagram celebrities, and they offered
And
them
did
VIP
not-
tickets
and probably not one of them was on the island. What the hell?
or cash to promote the event. They even managed to get Kendall Jenner to post about it. Rumor has it she was paid $250,000 for this post. Their marketing worked though. The festival sold out.
To make a bunch of people.
How did it go so wrong? Let's start with the money. During the planning process, a consultant came in and said the festival would cost $50 million and require another year of organization.
They should have planned this 2 whole years out.
This is after they made all the promises, and they had nothing near that amount, so they started cutting expenses way back. Remember those luxury villas? They were going to cost $10 million alone, so they scrapped them. Now everyone gets a tent. Deposits for the bands? Nope. Food, infrastructure, staff, all were cut back. But, you may ask, how did they have so little cash if they sold out? It's the price. It was way too low. Now wait a minute. Up to $250,000 a ticket is too low. In fact, on social media...
For the things that they want to do, I guess, it's low. Because of the things that they said that they would have, because of all the bands that they said that would be there.
People were so merciless and unsympathetic towards the guests because they thought it was a bunch of rich kids paying for tickets with a starting price of $12,000.
What the
and
hell?
you can thank fake news for that assumption. You see that number repeated everywhere.
So it's fake news.
Very few were paying even close to that amount. The standard price was around $1,200.
Okay.
Which, if you think about 2 weeks in the Bahamas with practically all of your expenses taken care of, that's pretty bloody good. In fact, some tickets were as low as $500.
6 months ago, got together and got the early bird special for about $500, and this covered food, transportation, ticket, and somewhere to sleep.
How on earth were they going to break even with that? They weren't. And on the flip side, there's no proof whatsoever that anyone purchased a $250,000
What
ticket.
the fuck?
So basically, they're stuffed. Billy has to start taking tough short-term loans just to keep afloat. Which, by the way, is why they did the Fyre bans. It was to raise cash. It's reported that up to $2 million in Firebucks in-game currency was spent in the lead-up to the event.
Match, campfire, house fire, Vietnam special. What the fuck? There's fun.
But this wasn't even close to enough. Practically broke, and with the event only a few weeks away, the more experienced staff suggested postponing. But thanks to those short-term loans, he couldn't. So he insisted on going forward.
Bro, what the
Those staff
fuck?
tried to control the damage by telling celebrities and public figures not to go.
How was the Fyre Festival?
Even here was laughing.
Billy and Jar are in some serious trouble. But let's please
FBI on,
have one failed festival that has a sequel.
His ass.
Well,
there is a sequel?
Billy is out on $300,000 bail. His assets
He
were frozen as at May 18th. He dropped his expensive attorneys. He's selling his property in New York. He tried to sell Magnesis for $150,000, but it was cancelled for being fraudulent. Massively in debt and with no hope of paying it back. Fyre went into involuntary bankruptcy.
What's you gonna do to not fall in bankruptcy? Another festival.
And that is the end of Fyre Festival.
Ooh.
I'll keep you posted about whether Billy is going to jail.
Oh, I know.
So long, Fyre Festival. You were too beautiful for this world.
Now I know
And
what
as for
the
me,
Fyre Festival was.
It's time to go home.
What the hell? A very first video. Fyre Festival, the 50 million and it's crazy sequel. There is a sequel? What the hell? Okay. That's it, I guess. Now I am educated in the matter. Okay, if you like the video, please give a like, comment something, and subscribe. Maybe recommend something, I don't know.